2017-18 academic year. Nasarawa State Polytechnic has taken drastic action to address indecent dressing on campus. Students lament of inadequate drugs at the school clinic. The school chief librarian has called on students to make judicious use of the well-equipped library. A Black Wednesday, Department of Mass Communication lost a dedicated staff. On the spot, France emerged the winner of the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Before the news in detail, listen to this piece of advice. Make sure you sleep in a well-ventilated environment to guard against meningitis and any other heat-related illnesses.
Welcome back. Now the news in detail. Nasarawa State Government, Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Makura has directed the Rector, Registrar and Bursar of the Nasarawa State Polytechnic, Lafia, Dr. Silas Gier, Labanidio Joseph and Abdullahi Akio, respectively, to go on compulsory leave pending the investigation of their activities in the institution. The governor made this known in a statement signed by the Secretary to the State Government, SSG, Barrister Muhammad Abdullahi, and available newsmen on Thursday in Lafia. Our correspondent Michael Blessing Asortan has the news in detail.
The governor said, pursuant the desire of the present administration to exposition the state-owned tertiary institutions in line with its policy thrust on education and in exercise of the power vested on the governor of Nasarawa State in the relevant enabling laws establishing the state-owned College of Agric Lafia and Nasarawa State Polytechnic Lafia. As visitor to the aforesaid institutions, Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, governor of Nasarawa State, has directed that the following principal officers at the Nasarawa State Polytechnic Lafia, vice the rector, the registrar, and bursar, should proceed on compulsory leave with immediate effect, pending the outcome of an investigation panel set up by the government. The governor also directed the affected officers to hand over power to their respective deputies. Michael Blessing for Makosa TV.
On the 22nd of March 2018, Mr. Anthony Ojiako announced that there will be a Makosa official election on the 24th of that same month, which the students came out in their large number to vote. Our correspondent, Yakubu M. Deborah, has a detail of the news.
On the 22nd of March 2018, Mr. Anthony Ojiako announced that there will be a Makosa officials election on the 24th of that same month. The school authority ordered that the election should be conducted by the students and only the students of the department were qualified to vote and be voted for. The following day, students began purchasing of forms of the various posts, which were the treasurer, president, vice president, general secretary, sports director, auditor, and financial secretary respectively. On the 24th of that same month, the elections were conducted successfully and the following students emerged the office: Akwashiki Godfrey as Makosa president, Idoko Emanuela as the vice president, Bata James as general secretary, Wonko Good News as the assistant secretary, Odi Friday as the sports director, Amina Al-Hassan Dantata as the treasurer. While some of the students jubilated over the success of their colleagues, some went home disappointed. After the election, our correspondent interviewed Akwashiki Godfrey, who emerged as the Makosa president.
I'm Akwashiki Godfrey Lover, Makosa president, and also, by the mercy of God, vice president, Nasarawa State Polytechnic, Association of Departmental Presidents. Well, as the Makosa president, how do you feel? Now, if you ask other presidents these questions, they will tell you they feel so happy being the president of the various associations in this school. But me, as an individual, as a president of this noble association, I feel the pains of the students. I feel the problems of the students. Now, the challenges of the students, that's what triggers me to contest for the post of the Makossa president, so that we can with collective effort, we'll see how to tackle this problem, so that we can put smile on the faces of our students.
I am Yakubu Deborah from Makossa TV.
The management of Nasarawa State Polytechnic Lafia has scheduled Monday, 21st of May 2018 for orientation and matriculation of new admitted students into the institution. In the view of the importance of the event, Monday has been declared lecture-free day to enable staffs and students participate in the event. The rector of Nas-Poly, Mr. Augustine Ali Gabo, made it known as the school old admin block where the venue of the ceremony takes place. According to Mr. Augustine, he says, this ceremony is the climax of the admission process of the institution, and as such, successful candidates are usually formally admitted into the Polytechnic through the matriculation ceremony, which we are celebrating today at this gathering. Augustine explained that many deserving students who apply for admission into the institution were not as fortunate as you are. The Nas-Poly authority has put in place efforts that will ensure a comfortable life for all its students. There include a conducive and conjugal teaching and learning environment. On his part, the registrar, Malam Usman, says, we wish to assure you that we are totally committed to applying the limited funds at our disposal towards the orderly growth and development of our campuses. The Polytechnic has over the years been known for the peace that prevails in the institution. Malam Usman calls on students to avoid joining groups that operate or promote violent and deviant behaviors. Says no to cultism as it is an avenue of self-destruction. He also called on students to avoid exam malpractice, ensure prompt payment of your school fees, embrace the Polytechnic dressing code with the Student Information Handbook, which serves as a guide and also contains all the information that a student needs to know about the Polytechnic.
Thank you. Many students of Nasarawa State Polytechnic are apparently angered by the indecent dressing prevalent among the students within the school premises. Our correspondent, John Janet, has a detail of the report.
Indecent dressing is a social malady and a deliberate exposure of one's body to the public. This practice does not conform to the norms and values of the society. It is so common in the public places, Christians' homes and offices, as people dress half-naked in the names of fashion. The chief security of the school, Mr. Rilwan Atari, advised the students to stay away from immoral acts, most especially indecent dressing.
They dress indecently and you call him or her to advise her, is that a harassment? But what of a lady, for instance, that harass someone with the type of dress she put on? Is that not also harassment? And when you say mass communication, I don't think it's only restricted to mass communication, but probably most of the students that dress indecently come from mass communication department. But one thing I want to realize or understand is maybe by nature of your training, I think maybe that's as it is, but I don't know anyway. And maybe because of your proximity to our office here. But then, we extend this to all other departments. It's not only mass communication. Any student, whether female or male, that you found her or him to be dressing indecently, we advise such students. Sometimes those that say we harass, maybe the one that you advise 1, 2, 3, and you discover that the person don't want to change. Maybe those are the side that are claiming we are harassing them.
I'm Janet John reporting from Makosa TV.
The school clinic coordinator, Mr. Chung Usman Nuhu, said that the allegation laid on the staff of Nasarawa State Polytechnic Clinic coming from the students are false on the clinic. Our correspondent, BM Roda, has the news in detail.
According to the coordinator of Nasarawa State Polytechnic Clinic, Mr. Chung Usman Nuhu, in his statement, he stated that all the allegations coming from the students of Nasarawa State Polytechnic are false allegations on the clinic, that since 2001, which the clinic was introduced to the school, students have been carefully attended to without asking them for money. In his statement, he stated that whenever drugs are no longer in the school clinic, they ask the school management to supply them with new ones, which at times the school management delay the supply of drugs to the clinic. And also, the staff of Nasarawa State Polytechnic Clinic cooperate with the students, but sometimes the students are difficult to deal with in the school clinic. In his statement, that whenever students need treatment, they should bring their school fees receipts along with them before treatment will be given to them.
Earlier said you don't demand for any payment if you have your receipt. Either in the lab on the drop with the student. Once if you have your receipt, everything we do for you is free. You can take how many drip, how many injections in a day is free for you. You pay for it.
So in a day, how many students come here for checkup or treatment?
In fact, as I said, I started this work since 2001. We see students more than 30 in a day. That do accommodate because it's not everybody that comes in. We admit him. Okay. Admission depends on the condition that one has. There is those that we treat, we call them outpatients. Just come in, have their drugs, have their injection, and then give.
I am BM Roda reporting from Makusa TV.
Reading proficiency is the way to knowledge. It is essential to the sources of the academic subject in the modern life. Our correspondent, Mary Sylvester, have the detail of the report.
Learning depends largely upon one's ability to interpret printed pages accurately and fully. It is a decoding process of which printed words are translated into spoken words, and also a process of gaining meaning from printed pages and applying it to daily life. It is in this regard that the Nasarawa State Polytechnic provided a well-furnished library with enough materials for students to be able to read respectively. In another dimension, students rather find it very difficult to make use of this great offer. Speaking with the Deputy Chief Librarian on why students find it very difficult to read in the library, he said,
"What you see, the attitude that I have just enumerated about students don't have interest in reading, it's not only restricted to Nasarawa State Polytechnic. Are you hearing what I'm saying? If you go over the country, the same thing you see. It's a general problem that people lack, in Africa in particular, people lack interest in reading. And so it's the same thing. You see, you will see this caption here. Reading makes a leader. Read to be a leader. Is that not? If you want to lead, all of you are aspiring to be leader. You either lead in the society or lead in your family. Today you are a female, you will be a mother. A mother is a leader. Is that not so? Because the children you give birth to, you will be leading them. So everybody that is born is bound to be a leader, one way or the other. It could be in your church, it could be in the mosque, it could be in school, it could be anywhere.
Mr. Ode Ochowechi Peter also advised that students should remember where they came from and grab this offer and make use of it positively. I am Mary Sylvester reporting from Makosa News.
The Department of Mass Communication, Nasarawa State Polytechnic, Lafia, announced the sudden death of their exam officer, Mr. Benjamin Michael Kudu. Our correspondent, Udos Charity, has the news in detail.
The candle night was at Mass Communication Complex
with a large number of students. At the candle night, the student of mass communication imitated the late Benjamin Kudu, and the student of mass communication composed a song for late Benjamin Kudu.
Please, listen up. Please. If a son of a peasant family like me can make it in life, please, I know definitely you will make it.
Ben Kudu, we're missing you. May your soul rest in peace now. Nas-Poly, I'm missing you. May your soul rest in peace now. Mascom, I'm missing you. May your soul rest in peace now. Yeah. A son of nobody, but somebody. Son of a peasant farmer, I call you somebody. My mentor, guarantor, a man of full of joy, a man of full of appreciative and caring, loving. Yeah, who be that is Master Ben Kudu. Yeah, I call you Mascom Pila. Yeah, you are my fitila. This is George Boy and Young Kelly.
After the prayer, the students marched to the house of the deceased to console the family members. At the house of the deceased, the Makosa advisor, Mr. Anthony Ojiako, advised the students of mass communication to take heart for the great loss of their exam officer.
We still can't believe it. I never knew we would come here with candles. But what shall we say? May he rest on. May he rest on. Amen. We have come to show our condolences, pour out our hearts, to pray with him, and then tell his wife and little children that God is now going to be their father and husband.
In his statement, he stated that the late Benjamin Kudu was a great man, that if only tears could bring him back to life, he would have returned back to the students. On the 2nd of June 2018, the body of late Benjamin Kudu was brought to the school before it was being taken to his hometown at Angwarama Kefi. At his hometown, the Reverend Father prayed and blessed the corpse of late Benjamin Kudu with incense in the church. Mass was celebrated in his hometown, and after the Mass, they proceed to his grave, where he was laid to rest in peace with the Lord. I'm Udo Charity reporting from Makusa TV News.
Now on entertainment, Deborah M. Yakubu has a detail of the report.
It was a joyful moment as Mr. Anthony Ojiako took Grace Palm to be his lawful wedded wife at the altar of God. The wedding took place in St. Augustine Catholic Church on B1 in Lafayette. The groom and bride marched into the church where the gathering were seated and Mass began. The parish priest, Reverend Father Paul Onavisi, and some other priests joined in the celebration of the Mass. The first reading was taken from the book of Psalms, second reading and the Gospel. Reverend Father Andrew preached and advised the couple on how to love themselves and not to bring third party in their marriage, that even Jesus Christ knows why he made a man to leave his home and get married to a woman in order to make their home a better place for the two of them. Finally, Reverend Father Paul Ona joined the couple as husband and wife. The couple marched to the reception hall at Abacha Youth Center as all the invited guests were seated for refreshment and the couple were ushered in with a dance. Mr. Louis John Oga gave an opening prayer during the reception. The chief legal advisor, Mr. Okokore, welcomes the entire guests for coming from different destinations to attend the wedding. The father of the groom also called the attention of the people for the breaking of the kola nut. The couple were invited on a dancing competition, and the chairman of the occasion was also invited to ask the couple for the cutting of cake, and they were asked to feed themselves. Finally, the closing prayer was said and everybody went home happily. I am Gwaza Teumbu Patience, reporting from Makosa TV.
On our business news, Tama Nahum has the news in detail.
The increase in price of goods in the market is due to the poor economic situation.
The poor economic situation of the country, regardless of their status, rising food price make it difficult for house to mobilize saving. The statement made by the seller Ishaq Mohammed in an interview with the Makosa TV men in Lafia Modern Market. According to Ishaq Mohammed, the most affected are the poor and the unemployed because they are unable to afford the basic necessity. Ishaq Mohammed now called on the government to put more effort on economic sectors in order to reduce too much increase in price of goods in the market. I am Nuhu Tama, reporting for Makosa TV.
Now, our sport update. France emerged the winner of 2018 FIFA World Cup. France has won the 2018 FIFA World Cup Champions League play with Croatia at Russia. Didier Deschamps became third man to win the World Cup as a player, as a coach, as Paul Pogba and Kylian Mbappe sell glory for the France. And Kylian Mbappe fired them to World Cup glory with an emphatic 4-goal win over Croatia. Following the tournament pack with thrill and drama, the final at Moscow Luzhniki Stadium, the further lived up with what preceded it from the moment Les Bleus hit the front through an 18-minute own goal by the Mario Mandzukic. Lastly, absent minute error from France goalkeeper Hunko Iloris allowed Mandzukic to put his name on the side of the score, but Didier Deschamps was not to be denying his piece of history as the third man to win the World Cup as both a player and a coach.
Before we end the news, let's go back to our major headlines. Governor Al-Makura sent Nas-Poly rector orders management on compulsory leave. Mass Communication Student Association Makosa has gained new leadership. Natural State Polytechnic Lafia hosts orientation and matriculation on Monday. A Black Wednesday. Department of Mass Communication lost a dedicated staff.
Thank you for listening to Makosa TV News. I am Idris Muhammad.
Rachel O. O'Malley. Stay tuned for other programs.